one and only, this is my third time announcing for Paulie Steinman, Category 1 referee from New York City. Give him a big round of applause. The one and only Janelle Nellie Rogers, the Fairy Quad Mother, state referee. Give her a big round of applause. From Albany, but now lives in Queens. All the way from Brooklyn, New York, this guy can bench over 2 times his body weight. Give him a big round of applause, Manny Prito. And all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, Jill Arno. Give her a big round of applause, Category 2 referee. And also from Brooklyn, New York, Category 1 referee, Rebecca Steinman. Give her a big round of applause. And all the way from, once again, Brooklyn, New York. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Wow, no one's from Albany, just me. Bianca Frankie. Give her a big round of applause. All the way from the one and only Nassau County, Long Island. Where are the Long Islanders at? Anyone? Anyone? That one guy. Awesome. Max Sapopo, strength coach extraordinaire. Give him a round of applause. And this guy, he's not from Brooklyn. He's not from Albany. He's from the Bronx, ladies and gentlemen. It's Danny Padilla. Give him a big round of applause. He's the technical secretary. Got everyone here together. And we also have our commentators in the back. Nick Stevens is commentating. Give Nick a big round of applause. Check him out on YouTube, Bar Powerlifting YouTube channel. The meet director, check him out. He's rolling around here like a bouncer. It's Jan Dorio. Give him a big round of applause. This is Jan. He put this whole thing together. And ladies and gentlemen, keeping all of this, the lifters safe, the spotters and loaders, RAT Powerlifting. Give these guys a round of applause, the blue shirts. All right, I think everyone can take their positions. We're ready to, just about ready to rock and roll.
What is... Test. Hello. Hey, there it is. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the third session for the 2024 New York State Championships here in beautiful Albany, New York. We had a phenomenal session of action all through the day yesterday with our AM session and our primetime session. So today we are going to be going through the rest of our lifters in the upper weight classes. We're going to see a lot of heavyweight today. We're going to see a lot of folks try and go for that national qualifying total. This is one of the last places they could do that. It's going to be a great meet. You'll be hearing my beautiful voice all day today. So if you are if you're ready for the action, ready to buckle in with me, ready to get started here in just a few minutes. Before we get started, we're going to take a couple
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in beautiful Albany, New York. You are at the biggest and New York State Championship in history. Folks, this is a blood sport. This is powerlifting. Let me hear you for the powerlifters. How loud can you get? Platform 1, Ryan Santos. Platform 2, Dan Milrod. One more big round of applause for the powerlifter. Turn that up.
He has set 2 on.
Oh, you have 2 on. Yeah.
That explains literally.
You want to redo your intro?
Can you hear me now, chat? There we go. What's going on, everybody? I was on the wrong headset the whole time. Well, I'm going to do my intro again. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the third session of the 2024 USAPL New York State Championships here in beautiful Albany, New York, in the Albany Capitol Center. Like I said, yesterday we had a phenomenal day of action yesterday with our AM session as well as our primetime session. So we are looking forward to seeing some awesome action as well today as we get into the rest of our masters lifters as well as our lifters over the 75 and 82 kilo weight classes. Want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors real quick. A7, our presenting sponsor, Demand Greatness. Want to give a quick shout out to White Toe Lifting Co., top tier deadlift slipper, overall lifting shoe, top tier knee sleeves as well. Ely Majaj, phenomenal owner and proprietor. We've got Kevin Jury Photography, Avancis Apparel, Sincere Training Systems, Buff Bagels, The Supplement Cartel, Cullen Insurance Agency, LiftingCast, Mustache Fitness and Barbell, as well as many other vendors and supporters for this meet today. We also want to give a quick shout out to Jan Dario and Bent Bar Powerlifting, meet director, and has done a phenomenal job getting this meet set up. I mean, the production value is phenomenal. Also want to give a quick shout out to Barbell Productions for putting together this live stream and putting together the phenomenal angles that we're going to see all day. You're not going to find any better than here, folks. So now, let's get into the action. We are well into our first flight of lifters on both platforms. We got 2 platforms today, 2 flights across the board. Up on platform 1, we've got Jackson Moore with 177.5 kilos, men's team 3 lifter. He is going to be opening us up with 391 pounds. And then we've got Pierre Yu on platform 2, also going in the 177, 180. He's going 396 pounds. Now, folks, just to orient you to the screen as we're going through our action here, if you're looking at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see kind of our heads-up display, right? So we've got the lifter's name, the weight class, the platform. You've got all of their attempts for that lift. So they are on the squat, and this is their first squat, so you'll only see one number filled in there. But then you'll also get to see what their subsequent attempts may be as we go on through the meet. Not only that, but you'll also see the timer on the far right side. You see that's going down once the head referee calls bar is loaded for the upcoming lifter. And then after each and every lift, you will see 3 lights pop up on the screen at the bottom there. So on platform 1, if you're looking at Aaron Carlo, platform 2, Lev Heyman, you just got to look right next to the, actually to the left of those names, you'll see 3 lights come up. The lifter is required to have at least 2 white lights in order for that lift to be good. So unfortunately for Lev, that lift did not count. But we do need 2 white lights out of 3. We do have 3 judges, so majority rules, 2 white lights over 3. And there's a number of things that could play into getting those white lights. A lot of them do come from technical infractions, including double bouncing, not hitting adequate depth, feet moving, things like that. And then you've also got failures on strength as well. All right, we've got Andrew Chiappa on platform 1, 192.5 kilos, 424 pounds. Sam Hahn, he's going to go 182 pounds for our first 400-pound squat over on platform 2.
Ah, there you go, Sam. Makes it look easy.
Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here. That's 3 white lights. Up next on platform 2, you've got Jaden Rupon, 418 pounds, a raw guest lifter, same as Mr. Jonathan Lara on platform 1. Now, when we are looking at these weight classes, right, so all of our lifters are competing to be the best in their weight class, in their division, right? So when you're looking, we've got weight classes. Obviously, those are going to be their kilo body weights, and then we've got their division, which is, you know, junior, equipped, open, that sort of thing. But if we're looking at our 2 lifters on the platform now, Jaden Rupon and Jonathan Lara, you see raw guest lifters. So that means that they most likely came in a little bit off weight, either over or under, and so they're not able to compete for their registered weight class. So they'll just compete as a guest. And that's going to be a no lift on platform 2 on depth for both of our side judges. Now, if you are watching over on platform 2, if you're watching on any of our platforms, if you see red lights on the screen, you'll also see little colored dots underneath those lights. And a red light, at least on squat, will constitute inadequate depth. If you see a red light with a blue dot underneath, that's most likely going to signify up and downward motion or double bouncing. And if you see a yellow light, that could be anything in between. So we're talking feet moving. We're talking failure to acknowledge the commands of the referee. We're talking... Actually, I think that's it. Eamon Shea, easy opener squat there on platform 2, 435 pounds, representing Sincere Training Systems. Antonio Marrero, 205 kilos, 451 pounds. He gets a good lift for that one.
All right, this is Daniel on platform 2. 400.
All right, bars loaded on platform 2 for Daniel Akulov. Raw Teen 2 lifter, so if you are Teen 2, you're between the ages of 16 and 17. He's squatting 446 pounds.
Wow, it doesn't get much smoother than
And if you blinked, folks, you missed it.
no good.
That's going to be, unfortunately, though, a no lift. It moved fast, but it's got to be low enough, folks. Joseph Skoronsky, 210 kilos, 462 pounds. That's a good lift.
Tell you what, Joseph over here, you got that right. You got that. Gregory Morrison coming up on platform 2. The bar is loaded, 463 pounds.
And folks, if you're watching at home, let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching for, who you're supporting. Want to let our lifters know that they're being supported all across the country as well as here in the beautiful Albany Capitol Center. Gregory Morrison. Easy 215 there over on platform 2. That's going to be 3 white lights. Oh, 2-1, unfortunately. See, that's why I'm not a referee yet, folks. That is going to be 2-1, unfortunately. No lift.
Here he is, Anthony Velez, 485 pounds on the bar. Anthony is an 8.5 kilo lifter, 100 pounds. He's strong.
We've got Vitaly Sender on platform 1, 551 pounds, folks. Now, we are going into our heavy lads, folks. Vitaly Sender, he's going to open us up with 250 kilos. That's 551 pounds. This is no small feat, ladies and gents. Representing Sincere Training Systems in the all-pink A7 with the sleeves and belt and shoes to match. Smoky opener from Vitaly Sender. 551, that's 3 white lights. And then we're going over to platform 2. We are back to the top of the order now. We're already into our second flights, or our second attempt of our first flight. 120 kilos for Dan Milrood, 264 pounds. And Dan is in the Raw Masters 2 age group. So he is between the ages of 50 and 59 years old. So folks, if you are watching, you are never too old to start powerlifting. And unfortunately, that will be a no lift for Dan. On depth as well. I don't know what it is about platform 2, but those judges are squeezing him over there. All right, Lucas Baruti on platform 1. Raw Teen 1 lifter, so he is between the ages of 14 and 15. I don't know what y'all were doing at 14 and 15, but I was yelling at my TV playing Call of Duty and eating Doritos. This kid is squatting 374 pounds. Lucas Baruti.
Smooth second.
And we've got Alexander Cuevas Perez. He's on the board now, getting that good depth call. He did get 1 red light for depth for that left side, but that's okay. He's on the board. Up next, we've got Ryan Santos on platform 1. Ooh, another contender for the best hair of the New York State Championships. Pierre Yu is going to take his second attempt at 190 kilos, 418 pounds. Folks, if you're watching at home, let us know if you have any questions, or really let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I am well, first of all, I didn't even say my name. My name is Nick Stevens. Hello. Gainendorf on Instagram. I'm a USAPL coach, commentator, referee as of next week. as well as competitor, former state record holder, all of the things. So I like to think I know a little bit. If you have any questions, just feel free to throw them in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer them. If you want any insight on anything or any opinions, let me know. Anything I can do to not make it sound like y'all are just watching a guy call bingo numbers. Shout out from Dorin Crawley. Shout out from Old Chatham to all lifters, refs, coaches, and commentators. Happy St. Patty's Day. And that's a good save by the spotters and loaders there for Lev Heyman on that 190. Unfortunately, not in the cards for him today. Now, if you do miss your lift, ladies and gentlemen, if you do miss your lift for any particular reason, you have the option of staying at that weight or going up. You are not allowed to go down in weight. So once you hit, like I said, once you solidify a weight to go into the lifting cast, you are not able to change it after that point. So they will have another shot to either take that weight or go up to the next weight.
Yeah, Chuck, here we go.
All right, Sam Hahn, 192.5 kilos, and Aaron Carlo going to take the same weight. Both have 424 pounds loaded up. Folks, that's a textbook squat there from Sam Hahn. 3 white lights. He said, give me some more work. Come on now.
Yeah, Chuck. It's a long way to the top.
Aaron Carlo, what a grind there. Not even really a grind. That was clean. Wonderful squats from both lifters. We are cruising right along. Jonathan Lara, 440 pounds. And Jaden Rupon, 429 pounds over on platform 2. Can Jaden find his way up? Yes, he can, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden finds his way up. Did he jump that rack command? Let's see what the judges say. Oh, unfortunately not. So we saw 2 red lights there, 1 blue, 1 yellow. So the yellow is most likely for that missed rack command, and the blue could be for possible up and down motion seen by one of our judges. So unfortunately, that was a no lift. And the lights are on, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are on. It's a party in here. The Lord said, let there be light for Jonathan Lara, 200 kilos, 440 pounds, 440 pounds.
All right, this is Eamon Shea, coached by Sean Collins. Lift is good.
And here we've got Mr. Eamon Shea on platform 2, 202.5 kilos.
Man, we got to turn these lights on.
I didn't do it. Eamon Shea with a 3 white light lift on platform 2. Daniel Akulov, he did miss his opening attempt on depth, but he did elect to go up in weight another 12.5 kilos. Now, 12.5 kilos, that's about 25, 26 pounds. That's no small jump, folks. Generally, when you're looking at squats, you want to have between a 5 to 10 to 12.5 kilo jump in between. You just want to keep them even across the board. We've got a shout out on platform 1 from Karen Vega in Zephyr Hills, Florida, cheering for Lucas Brody. Lucas Brody, excuse me. Oh, hi, Mom. Yahtzee to you as well. Here comes Daniel Akulov. He did miss depth on the first. Let's see if he's there for the second. It looks good from our angle, but the judges have the final say. 2-1. He is on the board. We've got Antonio Marrero, 217.5 kilos. Hey, no. I'm Nick.
Oh, are you Destiny's? Nice.
Yep. That's me.
Can you hear me?
Ladies and gents,
Oh,
I've
look.
got a co-host now. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Tuning into the live stream. Victoria Savage here, joining Nick over here, who's been with you so far.
Always good to have another voice on the stream. It is tough bouncing back and forth between platforms, but at the end of the day, this is what we do. Joseph on platform 1 with an easy 220 kilo second attempt. That's 485 pounds.
Over on platform 2, we have Anthony Velez. He's an 82.5 kilo raw junior. Let's see if he gets his second attempt here.
We've got a shout out for Lucas Baruti from Cleveland, Ohio.
Stick with it, Anthony.
Anthony, way to stick with it.
Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights.
And now a lot of times when you're looking at lifters, especially in like more local level meets or smaller meets like this, when you get to those sticking points and you're newer in experience, you're going to find a lot of times you don't have that patience to fight through that sticking point. And so very, very good for our last lifter there for keeping through that, fighting all the way through and making it to his third attempts.
Yeah. Okay, so we are up to our third attempts on first squat on platform 2. We got Dan Milrood up, Masters 2. So he's between the ages of 50 and 59, 82.5 kilo. Let's see if he gets this.
Now, Dan did miss his last attempt on depth, so he is going to like to retake 120. That's 264 pounds.
Come on, Dan. We got to get behind him here. He needs this squat. Let's get low, Dan.
That looked okay to me. Let's see what the judges say.
Look good to me as well. Let's see.
he
3
is
white
on the
lights.
board.
He's in the meat.
Come back and get that one. Hard road.
Okay, platform 2, we have Alexander Cuevas Perez. He is a raw teen 3, so he's 18 or 19, and he is 82.5 kilo. 175 kilos on the bar, so this is well over twice his body weight.
And like you said, this is a Team 3 lifter, so these kids are probably graduating high school, going into college. A lot of times folks don't start lifting until after college, till they get into to early adulthood. So good to see a lot of these kids coming in and starting early.
Yeah. Vitaly Sender on platform 1. Let's see what the judges say. Lift is good, 2-1 for Vitaly.
And Vitaly just hit 595 pounds, so no doubt we will see 600 plus for his third attempt.
Unfortunately, Alexander, he did not squat low enough, so hopefully he'll get that on his third attempt. So next up we have Lev Heyman, another raw teen. He is a raw teen too, so he's 16 or 17, 82.5 kilos. So he's going to need this to stay in the meet, so hopefully the mojo of the crowd and the adrenaline on the platform will do it for him.
Let's see it. And you're a state referee as well, so
yeah, just newly minted.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So when you're looking at things like that, like for the squat, what are some of like the top 2 things you're looking for?
For a squat, what I want to see, I'll fight through it. I'm not sure if it was low enough. It's tough to tell from this angle, especially when they got big quads. Oh, 2-1, he's in the meat. Great for Lev.
In the meat, folks.
So next up, we have Jaden Rupan. He's a raw guest. So what that means, a raw guest, it could mean that he didn't make weight this morning. You could still compete in the meet, but you just can't win any awards. You can't. I don't think you could get a total for like a nationals type thing, but you could still compete. You know, you paid for it and you prepped for it. 195 kilos for Jaden. Let's see. He needs this to stay in the meet.
I don't know if that was deep enough.
I don't know if that was deep enough. Tough to tell. You know, monster quads, really hard to tell, but
it's on the board.
It's good. He's on the board. He's in the meet.
That's why we're sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
that's why I'm not sitting in the corner.
Yeah, that's why I'm a sub for right now. But what I like to in my very nascent career, I like to look for listening to commands, a nice, steady, controlled walkout. Some people can do the dive bomb very well when they squat, but you do like to see some nice control so that they can maintain that tightness. So this year States had a qualifying total, so all of these lifters, this is at least their second meet. So hopefully we're not going to see a lot of like missed commands, things like that, so they should have already competed at this point.
They've been here before.
Yeah.
They've been here before.
Yeah. Got 197.5 keys for Pierre. You? See what the judges say.
Good
3
lift.
weights for Pierre.
Jackson Moore over on platform 1, 413 pounds for the Team 3 lifter. Rocking the white toe lifting code knee sleeves, one of our primary sponsors for today. They've got a vendor table out front. Y'all go check them out.
We have Sam Hahn on platform 2. The bar's loaded for him. Okay, here he comes up.
And good save for Jackson Moore by the spotters and loaders. Now, these spotters and loaders have been working all weekend, folks. They started at bright and early, 8 o'clock yesterday, and they have been going, and will be going all day today, so you definitely want to give them their flowers.
Yeah, they are from RIT Barbell Club, and they've really been helping out these past few meets as well for Bent Bar. Definitely well-oiled machine out there.
It's good that we're starting to get spotting teams, like spotting and loading teams from these universities. It's super cool. I know Texas has a couple.
Oh, nice and deep for Sam. Can he stick with it? Once again, great save for the spotters and loaders. You know, third attempts are always those, you know, it's always tough on a third attempt because you really want to give it your all, your max, and sometimes it's just not there. Sometimes the adrenaline's enough to carry you over the finish line, but sometimes it's just not there. But you can't fault people for trying.
No, not at all. A lot of times it's a numbers game too, right? You want to get as much as you can on the bar without fatiguing yourself because you've got bench and deads. It's a whole thing.
So we have Eamon Shea. He is a Masters 2 lifter, 82.5. I believe his son competed yesterday, Ogden Horowitz Shea. And he, I believe, I believe he set an American record yesterday. So nice, strong family here. It's nice to see families getting involved. I don't know who got involved first, but
and Ogden, I believe it was Teen 1. He's 14 years old.
Yeah. Also, Team Sincere athlete. Let's see, Eamon. 207.5 keys on the bar. Nice and deep. Okay, push. Good save.
Looks like you got shifted a little back towards the heels. And once you get those hips under the bar, it's a lot tougher to recover.
Yeah. And a nice third attempt. Looked pretty smooth for Andrew Chiappa, 2-1. He got that. He retook his second attempt. You know, whenever I fail a lift, which is a lot.
Same.
But at least in a competition, unless you are at a very specific level where you know exactly what went wrong, in my completely amateur opinion, would always retake that lift.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, like, you know exactly what went wrong, like if the rack height was something like that. But even then, you never want to psych yourself out too much. You want to give yourself every reason to make the next lift.
Sure.
So we got Daniel Akilov, another Team 2 lifter. He took a 15-kilo jump, so that's about 33 pounds.
And he took a 15-kilo jump from his missed first attempt.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
So, bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
Let's see if it pays off.
We have Jonathan Lara on platform 1. Looked pretty smooth.
I want to take 15-kilo jumps and 2-1.
2
He's
to
on
1.
the board.
Jonathan Lara, let's see. He's got the white colorway. Oh, push through. Push.
I think he's able to find his way through, but
way to
wasn't
grind.
deep enough.
I couldn't tell. I'm a little bit farther away than you are. Let's see what the judges say.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Hey,
2-1.
That's all
nice.
you need,
Way
folks.
to stick
That's all
with
you
it.
need.
That is what I would call a perfect third attempt, where you're really pushing through it. We have Gregory Morrison on platform 2, another Team 3.
Yeah, there's only a few situations, especially in a competition setting, where if you do miss a lift, we go up.
Yeah.
There's like two possibilities, and they both have to happen at the same time in order for that to happen.
2-1. He got his third attempt. I've noticed, at least on platform 2, a lot of the depth calls are coming from the left side. Sometimes people just have a hip imbalance and they have less mobility in that hip. Sometimes, you know, it goes really fast. Sometimes the judge, it's iffy and they're not really sure. So, but, you know, 66%, that's all you need to pass. So
Listen, majority rules.
Yeah.
Majority rules.
Yeah. Filibuster proof, we got it.
Antonio Marrero with a beautiful grind for his third attempt squat at 227. 501 gets 3 white lights, and he'll finish 3 for 3 on the day for squat.
Anthony Velez over on platform 2 took a little 2.5-kilo jump. Let's see. Does he have it? That's too bad.
Good grab by the spotters and loaders.
Yeah, great grab. So he probably felt that his second attempt was a bit too heavy for him. So sometimes if I've gotten red lights on like an attempt, I'll only go up. You know, you go up less than you may have planned if it
Sure.
if it felt great and it felt really smooth. I've seen people. I haven't. Sometimes you'll see people scratch a third attempt if they
Sure,
know
yeah.
that they just don't have any more in the tank. Sometimes people don't know that's an option. I didn't know that was an option.
I'm a firm believer that more people should scratch their attempts.
Yeah, because sometimes you just want to say, like, have some gas and energy in the tank for
Exactly.
your. So we have Joseph Skowronski on platform 1. Let's see, can he stick with it? Oh, that was nice.
That's textbook almost.
Yes.
In the Blazers, in the SBDs, all
Yeah.
across the board. Shout out to SBD Powerlifting.
3 white lights. Andrew Rita looked pretty smooth. Let's see what the judges say. He's got the A7 SBD combo. 3 white lights for Andrew. Looks like he's 3 for 3 so far. So now we are on to the second flight of the day on platform 2, kicking off with Joseph Briller. So for those of you who are tuning in, if you're relatives at home that might not know kind of how these things work, so lifters are organized into groups called flights, and for each lift, each flight will take all 3 of their attempts, and then the next flight will commence with their attempts. It helps with planning warm-ups, so if you're in flight B, you might start warming up when flight A is warming up. If you assume 1 minute for each lift, which is what each lifter has by the time they call that the bar is loaded, you can assume about 30 minutes per flight, so you can kind of work backwards, kind of like that. We got Joseph Briller. Oh, nice indeed. Oh, smooth.
Rocking the new Ivory Rose A7 colorway. Shout out A7.
I was about to say, 3 white lights, textbook 3 white lights. I believe we last saw him compete at regionals. I don't know off the top of my head, but he was here for regionals as well. Yeah, I believe he got a big total then as well. Let's see Tristan Bureau rocking the stash. He's got the SBD get up too. He's got the shoes to match. He's also another guest lifter, so sometimes if people aren't in the state, they also could be a guest lifter.
That's true, because this is a state level meet. You are, kind of required to be in the state to go for the awards. So if you're, let's say you're in Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Boston, and you want to come and compete at this wonderful meet hosted by Bet Bar Powerlifting, go ahead.
Yeah. That looked nice and smooth for Tristan. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights for Tristan. Let's see Vitaly on platform 1. Oh, stick with it. That's his next time. He really put up a good fight.
I was gonna say he wasn't stopping.
Yeah.
He was gonna let the spotters grab him.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. Next up, we have Mitchell Capitola on platform 2. Another SBD aficionado.
One of our first mullets of the day. Very proud of it. And then George MC's on platform 1 from Relentless Strength. He is going to take 391 pounds for his opening squat attempt.
Mitchie. Oh, he sank that.
I don't think he can go any
nice
deeper.
And easy.
I mean, he could, but
yeah. 3 white lights, textbook opener. Exactly what you want your opener to look like. You never want your opener to be shaky. That happened to me last week. Complete disaster, let me tell you. Oh, nice and fast for George.
And I was gonna say, so as when you've seen a lot of opening attempts. I know you said you wanted to be fast, but what's kind of your rule for judging what an opener should be or a second attempt?
An opener should be something that even if you woke up and one of your legs fell off, you should be able to attempt that. Even if you weren't able to get your caffeine and you didn't have the exact breakfast that you wanted, that should be something that I can pull up to any gym, a gym with whack plates, a gym that has a bar that may as well be a flagpole, and I know that I can hit that.
That's right.
Sometimes you get a little tricky with depth. That's what happened in my last meet. We don't need to talk about that. So then you want to retake that, but it should be something that you can move easily. We got Josh Dinka over on platform 1. That looked nice and smooth. 3 white lights. I believe there was
Andrew Dinka.
Yes, I was about to say there was another Dinka that was here yesterday. I would imagine that they're related. It's not a super common last name, but keep it in the family. We have Zachary Newman or Neumann. He's got almost 470 pounds on the bar, thereabouts. Oh, nice. There you go.
And so going along with the openers and you want them to be easy, what happens if that opener is not so easy? You're not able to get that lift for any particular reason. You have to keep hitting that. What happens if you don't get any of your attempts?
If you don't get any of your attempts, you do what's called bombing out, right? And it's really, this is one of those things where, you know, kind of the meme where it's like you ask any like good coach how you should do something and they respond with, it depends.
Yep.
Some lifters really just want to stay in the meet, you know, they prep for this, and like sometimes you wake up and you just know that like it's not going to be a great day, but you still want to stick with it. Some people want to scratch the meet altogether, but basically what it is you can't build a total for that meet, but you could still compete in bench or deadlift and try to hit PRs in those and see how those move. So we have Jae-Yok Sim over on platform 1, 225. So this is almost 500 pounds, I think, right?
496 big ones. What? Was that high bar as well? Looks a little high bar. I mean, you know what?
It's tough to tell from here because some people have like different traps, but trapezius
that was pretty.
muscles.
That was just pretty.
That was smooth. That was like Swan Lake over here.
Jesse said on platform 1, also taking 496 pounds as an opening attempt. We're going to see some big weights from our lifters today.
We're back to the top of the flight over on platform 2. Andrew Rita taking a 10-kilo jump, about 22 pounds. He got his first attempt, so let's see how this one looks.
I think both of our lifters wanted to wait for the beat drop to unrack that weight.
Let's see. Nice and low. That moved really smooth as well. I don't know that I necessarily saw a difference between that and his first.
Same
3
for
whites.
Jesse on platform 1. My goodness.
We have Joseph Briller coming up again.
Folks, if you want to see a masterclass on squatting, look no further than our folks in the second flight here. These are some textbook openers.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx anyone. I'm not going to jinx anyone on their technique.
It's funny. If you listen to Primetime yesterday, I jinxed every single person. Every single one.
So Sincere Training Systems, one of the teams here. I'm not on the team. I know a lot of people that are, but
they're a big team.
Yeah, they're a huge team. We got that Ivory Rose colorway coming back up with Joe Briller. 440 keys, 440 pounds, 200 keys on the bar. So for those watching at home, each of those red plates is 55 pounds. Those big bumper plates at a commercial gym are typically about 45 pounds. So they look narrow, but by golly, are those heavy. Oh.
They're deceptively heavy.
So that was what I would call like a good second attempt. You could see that he was fighting through it a little bit, but still overall really smooth. Like he's got more than enough left in the tank for a decent jump if he wants to,
Absolutely.
I'd say. And that was nice and low.
Exactly. You got to think about like what lifters are good at too, right?
Yes.
So if they're not necessarily the best at squats, but they're really freaking good at deadlifts, you want to save as much energy as you can. That way you can pull as much when you need that advantage come deadlifts.
And on platform 1, we have Joshel Jidan, junior lifter, 90 kilos, rocking the old school Inzer. I wore that for my first 2 meets. Classic.
Everyone's got to wear the Inzer.
Looking like Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but you know, got to stick with what, you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it, so I'm like, we're going to try you for now. And it served its purpose, you know? Got Tristan, nice and smooth, bit of a fight there, but overall, for a 10-kilo jump, that was good. Okay, 2-1. And that's a red card, so that meant he didn't squat low enough for the judge on the left. Yes. I'm doing the left-hand letter L thing. Stage right,
there we
platform
go.
left.
We've got Hung Mai on platform 1, 589 pounds for the Men's Raw Open 90-kilo weight class, 267.5 kilos. Over on platform 2, Mitchy Mitch Capitula coming back up for
taking a 10-kilo jump.
Kilos.
Coached by Jordan Crandall of Sincere Training Systems. He's had a decent number of athletes compete this weekend.
He's had a lot of lifters. He has been a busy man this weekend.
Yeah.
Here's Hung Mai. Decently narrow stance.
Yeah.
And a lower bar position. I'm interested to see how far his knees travel. Oh my goodness gracious.
Could have sat down with that. Box squat. Oh, nice and low for Mitchell. That looked good to me. Seems like he obeyed all his commands.
Looks like a good lift for both
Good
lifters.
lift, 3 whites, both sides.
Do you know how many flights we have for this session?
I want to say that we have, I want to say it's 3, but I'm not sure. I think we have 3 and then 2. I could be wrong, though. Got some Rage Against the Machine in the background. We got Gabe Conti, took a 12.5 kilo jump, so that's just a hair over 25 pounds for a jump for him. Let's see what he has.
Bar is loaded and clock's ticking for George MC's on platform 1.
Oh, bit of a fight for Gabe, but he got through it. I think that was low enough. 3 whites for Gabe. So for those watching at home, when we say that the clock's ticking, once the bar is called loaded, that lifter has 60 seconds to get the squat or start command. It's one of those things that seems like it's not a lot of time, but when you're up there, it's so strange. Unless you're running late.
It feels like forever.
Yeah, when you're up there, but like when you're watching someone else that's like struggling to make it, you're like, oh my God, it's ticking down. Next up, we have Zachary Newman. Anyone in the comments? Am I mispronouncing his name? Let me know. Another 25 kilo jump. 25 pound jump. Bit of a fight, but nice, just still nice and smooth for Zachary. 3 white lights.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have 2 flights for this section.
Okay. I think I was mixing it up with yesterday. Once again, we have Josh Dinka on platform 1. Taking a 15 kilo jump, just a hair on just about 33 pounds for those of us that use freedom units.
I would say, if you were on the stream yesterday, you heard me talk all day about we don't go by the imperial code. We stand in American units today.
Yeah. Okay, bit of a fight for Josh, but still overall very nice and smooth. There was no stalling on the bar.
Product of Mustache Fitness and Barbell, Josh Dinka.
Yeah. Jaehyuk Sim. Oh, sank that. Oh. Still a pretty smooth second attempt. Got the whole SPD get up too.
A shout out Eric again, back spotter over on platform 2, a literal rock star on the platform all day yesterday, keeping our lifters safe. Also shout out to all the rest of our spotters and loaders.
Yeah. So we have Jackson Blair up on platform 1. He missed his first squat. He still took a 10 kilo jump. So perhaps he might have a coach that knows him better than we know him, or even better than he knows himself. Sometimes coaches provide an outside voice that may be more objective than what you could be feeling.
It does look like Coach Carly Skarapinski's in the corner there, so he might be handling our lad.
Platform 2, we have Andrew Rita. He took a 12.5 kilo jump, so about 25 pounds. So we're back to the top of the order. These are their 3rd attempt, so we're going to see a lot of fight in this. Oh, nice and low. Push, push. Oh, he's stuck with it. 3 whites for him. What happened on platform 1?
That was a good lift.
Okay.
Yep. Jesse Sit coming up next with 240 kilos, 529 pounds.
Yeah. So earlier you were talking about the stances on some of these lifters. It's so interesting how much physics and math really play a part in lifting dynamics and kind of your body ratios and just kind of finding that optimal stance for yourself, just with the differences in range of motion. Some people can really squat low with a narrow stance. Some people need a wider stance to hit depth. Some people like to squat in heels. Some people, I sound like a Dr. Seuss book. Some people like to squat in heels. Some people squat in flats.
1 fish, 2 fish.
1 fish, 2 fish. Red plate, blue plate.
You know, some people, that was funny.
We have Joe Griller for his Ivory Rose over on his 3rd attempt. Let's see. Oh, nice and low.
And see, that was a great grab by that back spotter there. As soon as you see that bar start to go down, good save by the spotters.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Oh, good. Okay, understandable. Yeah. So what you'll see is sometimes, even if someone thinks that they could stick with it, when they sense any downward motion in the bar, they automatically will let the spotter get it. And that's because in the rule book, no downward motion is allowed on the bar.
That's right. That's very intuitive for our back spotters to see that.
Yeah.
Miles Hartway on platform 1, 240 kilos.
Some people like to still stick with it, and me personally, I feel bad because then I'm like, oh man, because sometimes you also don't know if it's downward or if you're stalling. So let's see what Tristan has for his third attempt, 7.5 kilo jump. Push, push.
What a fighter.
What a
Tristan
fight.
Vero. Come on, judges.
That was an RP 10.5.
And he comes away clean. 3 white lights.
Yeah, I think he may have gone either 8 for 9 or 9 for 9 on those white lights today so far. Yeah, a lot of pretty lifts in this second flight.
You've got Joshelle Zidane, 551 pounds.
All right. We have Mitch coming up again on platform 2. Jordan Crandall lurking in the background. Not lurking, coaching. 215 keys on the bar. So that's nearly 475 pounds.
And Mitch Capitula. And we are moving up in weight over on platform 1. Hung Mai, 622 pounds.
Holy moly. Oh, that was low. Fight with...
Oh, wow.
That was really smooth.
That was, I know I've said it like 6 times already, but that was a textbook third attempt.
Yes. That's one of the smoother textbook third attempts I think I've ever seen.
Up next is Hung Mai on platform 1.
Got another classic singlet on, the Titan singlet, I believe, sold by liftinglarge.com. I'm not sponsored. That's just where I got a lot of my beginner lifting equipment. I still use my flats from there.
And like we said, this is 622 pounds. It's the big second attempt for Hung Mai.
So we have Gabe Conti on the second platform. Let's see, third attempt. Go big or go home. I mean, yeah, sometimes you just come out of the hole and you just know that it's not there today, and it's best to just, let the spotters handle it if you want to just save your gas for your deadlifts
Sometimes
and your
gravity
bench.
is just not on your side that day.
Yeah. Sometimes Mercury's in retrograde. Your goldfish passed away 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what someone could be going through, Zachary,
you go ahead.
Zachary Newman coming up platform 2.
And we did get confirmation it is pronounced Newman, according to someone in the
Okay,
chat.
like
Thank you,
the
chat.
Seinfeld character. Okay.
George MC's rounding us off for our third attempt.
Nice and deep.
spots.
Push. Oh, way to stick with it, Zachary. See what the judges say. I think that looked deep enough to me. 3 white lights, 3 for 3 on the day. We have Jayok Sim coming up next. And we have George MC's on platform 1. Took another 10-kilo jump.
Representing relentless strength.
Push. Look at that. He stuck with it.
And that's a good lift for George MC's 3 wide lights.
I'm not going to say anything about how these lifts are going until after this flight is over. I am not going to. Because right before my second bench attempt, the person that was commentating said, "Oh, no one's really failed to bench on strength yet," and did not go. So clearly that was why it did not go well. It wasn't a failing on my part. No,
It was
clearly.
the spotter was talking about you. I mean, the commentator.
Okay. Okay, looks like there may have been a misgroup for Jayok. Sometimes this is going to sound redundant, but the weight just feels heavy on your back, and you just know, and you got to make sure. Especially with heavy weights like this, even though you have the spotters and loaders, you want to give yourself the best possible chance. Oh, that was nice and smooth.
That wasn't even...
Yeah.
I'm saying these are phenomenal third attempt squats, both platforms. Josh Dinka with a beautiful 507.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that wraps up our squats for platform 2. Sometimes just based on how fast lifters set up, it's like a stopped clock. One runs a little slower than the other. So they're going to, I'm not sure. I know yesterday they waited until platform 1 was done with the, with their squats to start the 10-minute timer for bench. So, but right now we just have platform 1. So in between the lifts, we take a 10-minute break.
after the
Lifters have 60.
Back at you live from the Albany Capitol Center. We're about to commence with the bench press. This is the second event of the day. So the bench press, what you're going to see is that there are 3 commands for this. There's start, press, and rack. And what the referees are really looking for when they first... What the referees are looking for before they give the start command is they want to make sure that the elbows are locked and they have control of the bar. After they say start, the lifter can begin to descend the bar onto their chest, and then once that bar is motionless on the chest, they will be awarded the press command, at which point they are supposed to press it out to arm's length. It's an audio medium, so you can't see, but to an elbows locked position, at which point they shall be given the rack command, which is when they can re-rack the bar. So there's 3 possible ways that people can miss their commands on this, and those people get a little antsy and jump the press command, they jump the start command. So let's see. Maybe people will get some jitters. The pause, it's not really much of a pause, but it is supposed to be motionless, and sometimes when you're used to touch and go, it can be a little difficult to really get that bar under control and motionless to the point where it can seem like a pause.
Right.
We have Alexander Cuevas Perez on the second platform with 85 kilos. This is about 190 pounds. This is the body weight right here, just a bit over that. And on platform 1, we have Andrew Chiappa. He has 97 and a half keys, over 200 pounds. Nice and smooth openers for the both of them. Let's see what the judges say. Oh,
Great lifts across. Great lift for our lad on platform 1. Unfortunately, no lift on platform 2.
yeah, no lift on platform 2. He may have not let the bar come completely motionless on his chest before he pressed it back out. Or there may have been foot motion as well. So in USAPL, I am not going to get into the long sordid history of bench press and arching, but for USAPL, the rules are that your shoulders, buttocks, and feet must maintain contact. Shoulders and buttocks must maintain contact with the bench. Feet must maintain contact with the ground. Those cannot come up or off. Your feet must remain flat. So it's tough to tell from this angle if someone's feet or butt came up. We can only see really from this slightly angled front position. We have Lev Heyman. 92 and a half keys, look nice and smooth. Let's see.
Here's Jackson Moore on platform 1.
Lift is good on platform 2.
237 pounds. 3 white lights for Jackson Moore.
Yeah. Next up, we have Sam Hahn, 105 kilos on the bar. About 232 pounds. Oh, about.
And if you notice, the sound is a little bit quieter. The music is a little bit turned down. We want to be sure our lifters can hear the commands of our judges. Oftentimes, and it's decently common, especially higher level meets with multiple platforms, that the lifters may hear a press command on another rack. So
yeah, especially...
It's rare, but it happens.
Yeah, especially because we have the 2 platforms side by side. At the Rookie Ruckus back in February, there was actually a hearing impaired lifter, and they have accommodations for that, so he received shoulder taps to signify each step of the lift, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Didn't let that stop him. Sam Hahn, re-rack, let's see. 3 white lights for him. Platform 1, we have Antonio Moreto, 120 keys on the bar. That's about 265 pounds. So just a note, I don't know if Nick pointed this out earlier, but those collars that are at the ends of the bar, those are not regular gym plastic collars that look like they were chewed on by a toddler in between them. Those are 2.5 kilogram collars each. So that's about 11 pounds added to the bar just with the collars alone. So if you're looking at them and you're trying to do the math in your head of like, oh, why is that 100 keys but not 2 reds? That's why.
A lot of times when we were watching the stream yesterday, I'd be like, yeah, that's 2 reds, no collar. Because oftentimes gyms don't even have those collars to factor in.
They don't.
Most gyms don't even have kilos.
Yeah, they'll have pounds, and then it'll be like 15.9 kilograms. I'm like that.
Yep.
Thank you. This is helpful for Boost Camp, not sponsored, but like literally nothing else. Thank you.
No free ad reads on this stream. Aaron Carlo on platform 1. Bars loaded up for him with 275 pounds.
We have
peak strength barbell.
We have Gregory Morrison on platform 2, 120 keys.
And now, one thing you notice from Mr. Greg Morrison on platform 2, his head did come up.
That
and
is
that's
allowed.
Perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. That is a rule that they adjusted, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago.
Yes, I believe that rule was in place for the 2022 state bench championships. I believe when I was watching the live stream for that, people's heads come up, and they specifically called that out on the stream that time. So it's at least been in place since then. But you can't change any elected position, like you can't scoot your shoulders, you can't scoot your butt.
Can't shift your feet.
Yeah, I believe your feet can slide, they just can't come up.
Mm-hmm. We actually had a lifter get a replace command yesterday because his heels were up.
Yeah. Jaden Rupin. Let's see what the judges say. Lift is good for him, 3 whites. So also the job of the spotters and loaders is they're changing the rack height. So this morning when the lifters signed up, when the lifters did their registration, they did their weigh-in, made sure all their equipment was good. They also set up their rack heights, which if you go to a gym, if you go to like a commercial gym and you see those like little J hooks on like a power rack or those hooks on a bench press, these are even more precise than those so that you can really keep them in tune. If you go to most powerlifting gyms, especially like a USAPL certified training center, they will have there are certain brands that I believe are technically approved or not approved, but they're all going to have these little pins that you can adjust the heights on, and they're smaller increments so you can really attune it to your body and your own arm length, your own setup.
And these are Eleiko racks too.
Yes.
Eleiko strength company, one of the top tier strength
Yeah, I
companies
believe they
in
are
the world.
Swedish.
Yes.
Swedish.
Yeah.
And these are some crisp new plates.
See, Eleiko normally does all of the equipment for the world stage a lot of times.
Yes.
And so our lifters are on top of the line equipment.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, of course.
But if they wanted to send me something, I'm not going to say, oh, no, don't, please. With my mid-total, please. So we have Daniel Akilov on platform 2, 275 pounds for him, 82.5 kilo lifter.
And
Taking his time.
Vitaly Center on platform 1 got 3 white lights for his opening bench at 132.5 kilos.
Taking his time. Got that start command. That pause, press, rack. 3 white lights for Daniel. Good for him. Next up, we have Joseph Skoronsky on platform 1, 175 keys. So this is about
297.
287, yes. You know, I still go to the gym and I'm like, let me just double check if 100 kilograms is still the same number of pounds as it was last week, just in case they changed it.
Oh, I still have to calculate, what's 100 kilos plus 5 kilos. I don't know what that is.
We have Pierre Yu on platform 2, getting his setup all nice and ready. The interesting thing is, I asked this at my very first meet. It was one of the rookie meets put on by Bent Bar. And your feet have to be flat on the ground. Okay, it looks like he's resetting himself up. Sometimes, bench is very, very technical. And with the amount of weight and sometimes people's proportions, angles, their own strengths, sometimes you just know that your setup isn't quite right. And in that case, sometimes it's just best to redo it. He has 6 seconds to get that start command. He looks nice and locked out.
He did get that start command with a second and a half left.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is you can wear heeled shoes for bench, because this is going to sound very pedantic of me, because I wasn't sure when they said your feet have to be flat on the floor. I'm like, does that mean I need a specific shoe?
That's a good way to think about that. Yeah.
But I did ask, and as long as you have okay shoes, you can do that. So
I think it's like
the more you know.
The sole of the shoe.
Yeah,
or
that's what they mean by flat foot. Yeah. We're back to the top of the flight. We have Dan Milrud with his second attempt.
Lucas Cognetti on platform 1, 157.5, fought back on him just a little bit. He got 1 red light for up and downward motions. That's a blue indication underneath that red light.
Yeah.
But 2-1 is still a good lift, so he's on the board.
Just need a 2/3 majority to pass.
Dan Milrod, a little bit more of a close grip.
Hopefully he retakes that for his 3rd attempt and he gets it that time.
Yep. It looked like it just misgrooved right off the chest. Because as soon as he got that pause, his elbows flared. It looked a little bit misgrooved for him.
And once again, Andrew Cuevas Perez is coming up, 92.5 kilo. He took a sizable jump, although it seems like he missed his first attempt. He probably has a coach, or maybe his feet may have come up and he just knows not to do that this time. So either way, hopefully he gets this. We have Ryan Santos on platform 1 pressing it out. I think he may have jumped the rack command.
Yep. And I think he knew it as soon as he came up too.
Some
He
you
got
get
up,
so
he
excited.
"Ooh." Probably shouldn't have jumped that.
Nice and smooth. A little bit of a fight. Looks like he got all of his commands. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. He's on the board. We have Andrew Chiappa, platform 1, 102.5 kilos. This is just a hair over 225. So if you think in a commercial gym, that's 2 plates.
A 2-plate date, as it were.
Yeah.
Andrew Chiappa, he's starting us off on our second attempts on platform
Yes,
1.
on platform
so
1.
We are cruising right along.
Yeah. Bench normally takes the longest out of all of them because typically there is more of a setup. It's a little quieter, so it doesn't seem like there's as high energy during those. I'm not going to jinx how it's going.
Andrew Chiappa, 225.
Let's see, Lev Heyman.
3 white
Nice
lights for
push.
Andrew.
So he has a belt on. I personally don't wear a belt when I bench. Some people do. They find that it helps them brace a bit better, create that arch with pack their lats a bit more when they're unracking the bar. It's all a matter of preference, but you are allowed to wear a belt on bench.
That's what we were talking about a little bit yesterday. We saw 1 or 2 lifters with their belts on during bench, and like you were just saying, it does come down to lifter preference. That
Yeah.
The lifter may find, like you were saying, their brace may be a little bit more intact when they go down to the bench. They may even be able to think like they can hold their arch a little bit better going into the bench wearing that belt. So, like you said, it is all preference. What you don't want to do is have that bar in contact with the
Correct.
belt at any point throughout, because
Correct.
that will be a yellow, technically.
Yes, I believe that is a yellow.
Yes. Because a red light is if you don't get the bar all the way to the chest, which is
Yeah,
not
that
necessarily
typically
something-
doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't happen because it's a big country, it's a big world, but if I had to hazard a guess, it likely happens more with like equipped lifters where you
Absolutely.
kind of have to fight to bring it down. I don't believe we have any equipped lifters that have bench shirts on today. I might be wrong. They might be doing bench only.
We
but
had
I don't-
one yesterday. I
Yes.
know we had one equipped lifter yesterday.
Yes,
and that
I believe he
about
was in the
it.
primetime session. We have Anthony Velez coming in, 112.5 keys.
Platform 1's got Jackson Moore loaded up 253 pounds, 115 kilos for the Raw Team 3 lifter. Anthony Velez with a lot wider of a grip than we've seen some of our other athletes do. Again, all personal preference. If you want to ask a question why in the chat most lifters do whatever they do, it's because they want to.
Yeah, you'll ask.
Or their coach tells them to.
Yeah, you'll ask 5 lifters, you'll get 8 different responses.
Yep. That's funny. I don't even know what I want half the time. That's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah. Some people do it because it's just the way that their body works. Some people do it to shorten range of motion. I am not going to open that can of worms right now. I have seen enough Instagram comments about those. Not about me specifically, but that's beside the point. We have Eamon Shea coming up with his second attempt. Let's see what he's got. I want to say, I think his first attempt was a bit of a fight, so he may have just wanted to play it conservatively and safe and see how this goes.
And now 2.5 kilos is the lowest increment you can increase.
Yeah.
Like we said, you can change the weight. I mean, you can stay at that same weight,
If
but
you
you can go
don't
up.
get the lift. But he did get his first attempt, so he might just want to be playing it safe. Sean Collins, his coach, may have made that call for him. And we have Antonio Marrero, who took a 10-kilo jump on platform 1. He has 130 kilos. That was a bit of a fight. Hopefully he retakes that, and the adrenaline of the crowd carries him over the finish line. We have Jaden up on platform 2, 10-kilo jump. And Aaron Carlo on platform 1. So Aaron took nearly just a bit over a 15-pound jump, 7.5 kilos.
And 15 pounds on bench is no small feat. Folks.
Yeah.
It's, most times you see between 2.5 to 5, half-kilo jumps on the bench press. Getting anything above 7.5 to 10 kilos, anything above that starts to get a lot trickier.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just add 2.5 keys to your bench and it just doesn't move. It's so interesting how different people's bodies work and how sometimes it's just not your day. Bench is very, very, very finicky.
Good lift for Aaron Carlo on platform 1.
We have Daniel Akilov coming up on platform 2, another 7.5 kilo jump. Looks like both he and Jonathan on platform 1 are taking 132.5 kilos, that's 281 or 286?
292.
292. Oh my goodness, I was underestimating them. That is my bad.
Jonathan Lara. Test.
Test.
82 pounds for the T2 lifter.
Jonathan Lara with the white singlet today, the Get Better Today singlet.
My clumsy self could never. Daniel looked nice and smooth. Let's see what the judges say. 3 whites for Daniel.
And we'll say same for Jonathan, 3 white lights.
Yeah, some's on bench. You just add 5 pounds and it just says no, heart.
A lot of times, gravity's not your friend. A lot of times, and we were saying yesterday with deadlifts, sometimes the spotters staple it to the floor when you're not looking.
Yeah, some's like, there was like glue. The little elves came in the night and just like conspired against you. It really sucks when your ops do that to you.
All the fake weights, it's
when the haters are all out in full force, all 0 of them.
That's why I'm wearing my Pit Vipers. I gotta block them out. Can't
not
see nothing.
Not sponsored yet. Bit of a grind for Gregory. So Gregory Morrison took a 15 kilo jump. That was a bit of a grind, but it looks like it paid off. He got 3 white lights. We have Vitaly back on platform 1, 140 kilograms.
Now, it could be you have those lifters that go, a larger jump from first to second, and then you get a smaller jump from second to third.
Yeah.
And a lot of that just comes down to the strategy of how you want to build your total. And that comes down to just having a good coach, a knowledgeable handler that knows situation, knows how to play those numbers.
Yeah. Some people will treat their opening attempt. I'm still trying to, figure out my place in the world. The world is, different, but in powerlifting, some people treat their first attempt as their last warm-up because they know they'll get it, and then they'll take that larger jump. So I feel like that could definitely work out for lifters that might have some confidence issues or just want to build a total and they know it's not feeling great that day.
Joseph Skoronsky on platform 1, 308 pounds for the junior 82.5 kilo lifter.
Pierre Yu on platform 2, 302 pounds, right? Yeah, 302 pounds.
Very wide grip, bulldog grip. And so when we say bulldog, the hands are kind of rotated inward just a little bit, give you a little bit more torque with your lats and your triceps.
So I think this was officially codified by USAPL, but as of 2024, you need to have your thumbs, once again, audio medium. Your thumbs need to be around the bar. You can't do a suicide grip, which is when you have your thumbs outside of the bar. I'm not going to comment on why someone would do that. It's not. I have slippery hands. I need my thumbs. I evolved from a chimp for a reason. Like I got to use my thumbs. We're up to our 3rd attempt on platform 2. We have Dan Milrood. Hopefully he gets this. Energy of the crowd will do it for him.
2nd attempt was on strength.
Push it, Dan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he pushes that out. Oh, let's see what the judges say.
Not
3
only,
white lights.
Not only is powerlifting a physical game, because it 100% is, but it is almost entirely mental.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely
I want to know what
mental.
conversation. Positive mental. I want to know what conversation he and his coach had behind the curtain there, because that was a show.
Yeah, sometimes you just get in your own head and you can be your own worst enemy, and it's not great when that happens.
Reason to have a good handler and good coach to talk you out of that.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Cuevas Perez up on platform 2. They're wiping the bar down for Ryan Santos over on platform 1. He took a 2.5 kilo jump, so let's see how that pays off. Oh, a bit of a fight for Alexander. Let's see if he can push it out.
It's interesting because once you start to see the body kind of tremor side to side, it's almost it's because then your body starts to get unbalanced.
It's so funny. People have different sticking points in all of the different lifts. Like for squats, most people are weak out of the hole, which is when they come right out of depth. Some people are weak at lockout for the squats. Sometimes people are weak off the chest and bench. I'm some people. So some people are weak in the middle of the movement. So
that's me.
So some people, you just never know. You could be like, oh, they should have had that, but you never know if, what someone's actual sticking point is for that, even if it looks really close.
Right.
I will say for deadlift, at lockout, it should be your strongest point physically for the lift. So there are typically some isolation exercises you could do to kind of help out with that, but people have different sticking points, so it's really not anyone's place to say that, oh, they should have gotten that. That was so easy. Oh, push Lev.
Now, if Lev were to lock this out, this would be a grind and a half, but
Let's see.
am interested to see what the judges say on
I
up
don't
and
know
down
if
motion.
I don't want to be a hater. I don't know if his butt came up.
So,
Downward
up and down
motion.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That was a blue. Because I was wondering, right as he came off the chest, he started to bobble. He blocked out
man.
beautifully, but
What
right
a
off the chest, he
fight.
bobbled.
What a fight. We have Lucas Baruti up on platform 1. And we have Sam Hahn on platform 2. Once again, lifters are syncing up with the same weights on both platforms.
Yeah, our junior 82.5 kilo weight class is stacked. All right, Lucas, here we go. 112.5 kilos, 248 pounds. Kid is, chat, if you know how old this lad is, let us know in the chat. He's a Team 1 lifter between the ages of 14 and 15. Here's 248.
Let me tell you, when I was 14, what was the big thing in like 2016?
Good attempt there for Lucas.
Yeah. He really fought. That'll be his next time, especially at age 15. Wow.
He's 15. Wow.
When I was 15, I was going through a big. I don't think I was into the Smiths at that point. That was an angsty later teen year for me. But I definitely was not bench pressing that much. I'll tell you that.
I know when I was 15, it wasn't a phase, Mom. So, you know.
Oh,
Jackson
2014.
Moore.
What a time that was. I'm dating myself. Yeah, I went to
miss
college
childhood.
before ChatGPT and Bang came out in the middle of it. So respect your elders, people. Okay, 117.5 on both platforms. Here we're seeing a bit of a difference in setup. So in USAPL, you are allowed to place your feet on the bar, not on the bar. That would be some
That'd be an
exorcism level.
interesting little setup there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any rule against that. You know. Oh, let's see. See, another example, different sticking points. So Eamon on platform 2 is going to retake the weight. Let's see if he's got it in the tank, if the energy of the crowd does it for him. But, where was I? So in USAPL, you are allowed to place your feet on the bench for setup. For the IPF, I believe you are not, which is the other which is another large international powerlifting federation. I think that's literally what the acronym is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in Life of Brian when they're talking about the two groups, like People's Front of Judea, Judean People's Front, some minor differences, and people argue about them all the time. That's neither here nor there. Let's see Eamon. Hope he gets this.
Jonathan Lara on platform
Nice
1.
controlled descent for Eamon. Oh, is he going to lock it?
Is he going to unlock?
Oh, man. So another part of the bench that I forgot to, or rather I didn't think to mention, is that your arms can lock out at different times. You just can't have downward motion on either side. Like, let's say you have an absolute gun for like a right arm, like your triceps are like absolutely popping. Like that one can lock out first, but as long as the other one also locks out and there isn't a dip, I'm doing a whole like interpretive dance over here. It's an audio medium, so no one can see it. But as long as there isn't notable like tipping or downward motion, you can lock out at uneven times. You just won't get that rack command until they're both locked out.
And now one thing that so I'm actually taking my ref practical next week.
Oh,
So
good luck.
I'm super stoked. But one of the things that I think is kind of a point of contention, especially with the up and downward motion that we're looking for, both in bench, well, really all three of the lifts. A lot of times, and kind of alluding to what you were talking about with the uneven lockout, you want to look at the center of the bar rather than the sides of that bar. So like you were just saying, with a bench press, you can unlock evenly and the sides can kind of go up and down. But as long as that center point of the bar doesn't drop, technically that's still going up.
Yeah. So we have Gregory Morrison and Antonio Marrero. Greg Morrison on racking. Let's see. Controlled descent. Press. Oh, is he going to lock it out? Once again, we're seeing.
It looks like it. So there's that uneven lockout again, but the middle of the bar didn't come up.
Nope, it did not dip. 3 white lights for Gregory. Perfect third attempt. So we have Antonio Marrero setting up on platform 1.
308 pounds.
And your butt is allowed to be off the bench when you unrack, but you will not get that start command until your butt is on the bench and your feet are flat. you can't really see, but the two side refs both have their arms up, and once they see that your butt's on the ground and your elbows are locked, they will give that signal to the chief ref. It's the same for squat to make sure that you have control of the bar and your knees are locked. Daniel Akalov on platform 2. Another 7.5 kilo jump for Daniel, 16 to 17. I was too worried about the PSAT and like my SATs at this point. Those word games were me.
I was too busy being a good student. And look where that got me now. I'm commentating stronger, lads.
I'm commentating on the USAPL New York State Championship in Albany, New York. We have Vitaly on platform 1 for his third attempt. Once again, another lifter wearing a belt.
And this is 314 pounds, so a 3-plate day in your normal commercial gym.
Ooh.
And that looked a lot more like a milestone. 314 is definitely a milestone bench press for a lot of our lifters.
Definitely.
So if he was to do that on his third attempt, I'd be happy with that. That was clean.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. Like I said, tough to tell. You never know if someone's butt came up. Also, sometimes bodies are weird. Muscles twitch. It's tough to tell. Like, again, with the squat, sometimes people have different muscle imbalances. You know, we aren't perfect machines. We're human. And we bleed when we fall down.
Fit all.
Sometimes one size doesn't even fit one, depending on the day.
Right. Joseph Skoronsky on platform 1, 145 kilos. Pierre, you on platform 2, taking the same weight.
Oh, that was nice and smooth for Pierre. Bit of a fight, bit of a grind, but it was still continuous, steady motion. There wasn't any point during that lift where I felt he was really stalling or in danger of letting the bar dip.
Mm-hmm. And now Joseph Skoronsky, good grab by the spotters and loaders. You saw him almost lean a little bit too much into that leg drive and almost expecting the press off the chest to be a lot tougher. And so we saw the hips rise up. We saw the butt come up. And from there, the bar rolled back to the head. Very hard to overcome that from, a biomechanical standpoint.
So before we kick off our first attempts on platform 2, I'm seeing in the comments that Lucas Baruti just captured the state records. He has 2 state records as of today, which that's really impressive. Was he our 15-year-old?
We missed that?
Yeah, I don't know if they announced it. I think it may have come up somewhere. We have Mitchell. Oh, nice, easy attempt for Mitchell. Jordan Crandall in his corner. We have Lucas Cagnetti. They're still wrapping up the third attempts on platform 1. Once again, like how I was saying, stop clocks. Eventually, one clock is going to fall a little bit farther behind the other. But overall, there shouldn't be that much of a difference. Oh, maybe.
Good grab there by the spotters and loaders.
I always like to say that that'll be there next time. Because like I said earlier with squats, sometimes that's the first time you're actually holding that weight. If you're peaking and you just haven't touched that weight before, and like I said, sometimes you just get in your own head and you psych yourself out a bit. And sometimes just the strength is not there, or you're mentally just not 100% prepared for it. But so sometimes just having it there can mentally condition you a little bit to know what at least it feels like in your hands for the next time. So.
Tristan Bira with 105 kilos, 231 pounds. And then George MC is going to start off our second flight of benches on platform 1, representing relentless strength with 264 pounds.
Nice smooth opener for Tristan. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. Andrew Rita coming up on platform 2, another 90-kilo lifter. George MC's on platform 1, 265 pounds, 120 keys. You'll see some people have wrist wraps on. Some people find that it helps them support their wrists, especially once you get up to heavier weights. It can hurt. You'll see them on squats too. They are allowed to have them.
Every now and then you see them on deadlifts too.
I don't know if I've noticed. I did see someone with knee sleeves on deadlifts yesterday, though. I think that was our equipped lifter. So sometimes you're allowed to wear wrist wraps really anywhere, as long as, because they're not providing any support that you don't ordinarily have. It just makes sure that your wrist doesn't exorcist itself.
Right. I think one of the things, and we had a conversation in the chat yesterday, like what really makes Equipped different from raw powerlifting, and I think the difference really comes down to assistance versus support.
Yes.
Right. So you've got wrist straps, you got knee sleeves. Those are technically support instruments. If you wear a suit, if you wear knee wraps, those are going to objectively add weight to the total, so those would then be assistance type equipment.
We have Joseph Briller, Ivory Rose standout, taking his first attempt to just about 270 pounds, 122 and a half keys.
Shout out A7, our presenting sponsor for today.
Oh, nice and smooth.
Too easy on for Joseph. Put a little weight on.
We have Miles Hartway on platform 1, junior lifter, 90 keys, 90 key body weight, 137 and a half keys on the bar.
And J-Yock Sim, on platform 2. He's going to go 297 pounds. And that's an easy opening attempt from Miles Hartway on platform 1.
We have Josh Dinka coming up on platform 1. They're loading the bar for him while J-Yock is setting up.
Another very wide grip bencher, good bulldog grip. Hands are rotated in. Give you a little bit more torque with the triceps and the lats.
Yep, his thumbs are still around the bar, though. They're both wearing the SBD colorway. They're both rocking the SBD singlet. Nice, easy opener for Josh Dinka.
We're going to see a lot of these openers fly. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we're going to see a lot of these openers fly.
Yeah.
If like we said earlier, you
Look,
want your opener
not
to
going to
be
jinx
easy.
them, not going to jinx them, but opener should
Is
be
this wood? I hope
somewhere.
This is wood.
At one point, this was okay. Here,
It is
this,
not wood,
this
it is
paper
plastic.
coffee cup used to be this paper coffee cup used to be a tree at some point, so we're going to knock out this.
There we
one.
go. Joshelle Zidang on platform 1, 140 kilos. Now, you see Joshelle letting that head spotter know exactly how he wants that lift off, because every lifter is different, right? You want to be sure that head spotter knows exactly how you want that lift off, because the lift off will, in effect, make the bench,
Yes.
right? If you get a bad lift off and they dump the bar on you, that's going to throw off your entire mechanics.
Yeah. So for those at home that aren't familiar with the concept, a liftoff is basically when I'll call them the front spotter, assists you in unracking the bar. So sometimes in training it'll be your coach, but here for fairness, it's always the same person for all of the lifters if they elect to choose to have a liftoff. I have gravitated away from taking liftoffs because I'm not at the point where I know that I can reset no matter what. So I like to maintain control when I take it off.
Right.
So
And-
it's up to, like I said, matter of personal preference, but sometimes people have very specific instructions for for the liftoff person. Typically it's a countdown where it's like 3, 2, 1, unrack. We can't hear that from here, but some people have different requests. Most of the time it's coordinating when they want to take
Right.
it off.
And I was just about to say that when you're looking at the front spotter there, they're giving liftoffs to 12 other people in that flight. So it's important that when you get up to that spot, just have a quick 5 to 7 second blurb, listen to the head spotter, hey, 3, 2, 1, take it out this much, and that's it.
Yeah. And these are really good head spotters. I believe that they seem to remember each time what the lifter has wanted, at
Yes.
least in previous meets. These people are like a NASCAR pit crew. Like they're
A well-oiled machine.
yeah. So I am in the comments. Jay likes to be called Ock, so I will try to refer to him as that
Ock.
from now on. Not
No, what's
like
up,
Doc,
Ock?
like Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
Okay, okay.
Power of the sun in the palm of his hand.
Peter? Here's Hung Mai. He had a big 6'11 squat on his second attempt here. Didn't get his third. Let's see this opener.
Nice and easy.
336, 3 white lights.
Back to the conversation about equipped versus raw. Equipped is its own skill in and of itself because you need to figure out the best way. Because even though it may seem like the suit is doing the lifting, you're still holding that weight above your head. You're still having 1,000 pounds on your back. You're still picking up 1,000 pounds from the ground without straps, which I think it's interesting that those aren't allowed because grip, I feel like, is the limiting factor for me.
For a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I can carry the groceries in like nobody's business now, but you know.
Well, those have handled.
They do. But I'm like, okay, cat litter, you're coming with me.
Oh, we're going to one-trip it.
Yeah.
George MC's on platform 1, 275 pounds for his second attempt. So we're on second attempts for both platforms.
Bit of a grind for Tristan, but once again, bit of an uneven lockout, but there was no downward motion on the bar, but 3 white lights for Tristan.
And
I wonder what he's going to elect for his third attempt.
I wonder, I would doubt anything more than a 5 kilo jump.
Yeah.
2.5 kilos would suffice. Shoot, if I were his coach, I might even scratch that. If he's a good puller, save all in the tank.
Yeah. We have Jesse coming up on platform 1 and Andrew coming up on platform 2.
I can understand how hard bench can be with super long arms.
Yeah.
I can understand. And I was talking to Sean Coleman, a living legend here in New York, and with the USAPL. He said a lot of bench pressers are determined by their humeral length, which is a little scientific term for your upper arm.
Yeah, because that's why it's called, the ulnar nerve is called your funny bone, because your humerus is right by there.
Chat, write that down.
Write that down.
Write that
If you're at a bar trivia night, first round draft pick right here.
You just got a free anatomy lesson.
Yeah. So we have Joshelle retaking his first attempt at 140 keys, which is it's about 310 pounds. We have Joseph Briller coming back, took a 7.5 kilo jump, so he's got 286 on the bar. So we see they're both getting liftoffs from the head spotter.
I don't know who's going to lock out first. It looks like Joshelle locked out just a little bit faster.
Yeah, let's see what the judges say for Joshelle. There may have been a misgroove over there for him. Okay, 2-1.
2-1. We've got good lifts on both platforms, and now we've got
Ak. We have Ak-Sim on platform 2.
We're going to see this bench the Aki way, 319 pounds.
That's 3 plates on each side in a commercial gym.
So if you see him in the gym, he probably doesn't need a spotter with 3 plates.
Yeah. If you see him in the gym, ask for his autograph,
if you
maybe.
see him in the gym, call him Ak.
Yeah. We have Miles Hartway on platform 1 setting up. Yet another so he's about 1 pound under 3 plates. Oh, and that was easy. He could easily do 3 plates.
I'm going to take a wild stab. I'm going to say 152.5. Or 150, sorry. 150. Because it looks like he's been making, that's a 5 kilo jump.
That's for Josh, though.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
We have Ak. Got that start.
145, the Aki way. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights.
Three white lights. Saw a little bit of trembling there, but overall very smooth.
Not uncommon with second attempts. That's when lifters are starting to actually struggle just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like, when you see like a racehorse and like they start getting twitchy, but that's just how they be.
They're just raring to go.
Yeah.
Here's Josh Dinka. Beautiful arm sleeve. Oh. And an even more beautiful with 142.5.
We have Zachary Newman on platform 2. Okay, bit of a grind at lockout. Let's see what the judges say. That should be a good lift. Okay, 2-1. We have Jackson coming up on platform 1, 10 kilo jump. He's up to 336 pounds. Oh, we got another set of identical attempts. And I don't know if anyone else is watching this side by side, but you could see the difference in their grip width.
Oh, wow, yeah. Jackson's almost electing to go for a master grip.
Yeah, it's almost going for close grip. Tricep clinic.
And Gabe on the complete opposite end of the spectrum with a lot more of a chest-directed lift with the wide grip. Hung Mai is coming up for his second attempt at 160 kilos, 352. For those of us in decent powerlifting gyms, that's 2 reds and a blue, no collar.
We're starting off with the third attempts over on platform 2. Start kicking it off with Tristan.
Already? Wow.
Yeah.
We're cruising.
Yeah. We are Tristans for Tristan.
I stand Tristan.
If I remember correctly, I think his second, he was having a little bit of trouble with it, so I think he may have just opted to take the minimum jump.
Mm-hmm. Hung Mai on platform 1.
Oh, nice and smooth.
Blew that up.
Check him for a bench shirt. Wow, that was fast. Could have had a slingshot on.
Not a bench shirt. That's the meat t-shirt.
Yes.
Here's Tristan Biro. Electing to go heels on bench as well. Wait, those aren't heels.
Those look like Nike wrestling shoes. Let's see. Just wasn't there today.
I think the spotter blew on the bar.
Yeah.
Kind of kept it on his chest there.
Yeah.
Wonderful shot there.
We have George MC's Platform 1. I believe we're wrapping up our third attempts for the first flight of Platform 1. He took a 2.5 kilo jump.
Oh, can he get his elbows through? Can he get his elbows through? It's going to be a slow grind. It's going to be a grab by the spotters and loaders.
Yeah. It looked like, it's tough to tell from this angle, but it looked like his butt may have come up as well, just based on the leg movement. But, you know, hopefully that's his next time. We have Mitch Capitula
and
on Platform 2.
A lot of times when that butt comes up, it's instinctual.
Yeah.
You know, it's what our body wants to do in order to get that weight up. And no, it's not comp standard, but it's just what we do.
Yeah.
That's just how humans work.
Oh, nice and smooth for Mitch.
Got a shout out in the crowd for Mitch Capitula, 3 white lights.
Yeah. We have Andrew Rita over on Platform 2, took a 2.5 kilo jump. Just about 280 pounds for Andrew. We have Jesse Sitt over on Platform 1, 140 keys. Just over about 310, over 300 pounds. The words. Whereas it looked like some of the other bars kind of came a little close to the head. That one looked like he pressed a little bit closer to his legs. Again, if you're anywhere outside of that bar path, it's going to be really hard to try and reacclimate and adjust to that positioning. Yeah.
Here's Joshelle Zidang. 145 kilos, a 3-plate date, 319 pounds.
Joseph Briller is coming up next. Platform 2, the bar is loaded, 292 pounds. Come on now, Joseph.
And Joseph Briller, 132.5 kilos, the smallest increment jump there. 2.5 kilos, it's about 5.5 pounds. Interesting press at the chest there for Joshelle. It looked like he was just hovering over the chest. It looked like the head judge made him hold it a little bit longer, but who cares? It was a good lift either way.
Some people, I've seen a few people, not necessarily here, but I have seen a few people that just dive bomb the bar and it takes a little bit to settle.
Yep.
And then they press it back, and then it has to remain motionless. So that's why it can seem like a pause. I'm not trying to gaslight anyone to be like, it's not a pause, because it can feel a bit like a pause if you're not super used to it. We got Ak coming up for his third attempt.
Oh, time stops when you're bench pressing. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's at least like 3 Mississippis right there.
Here's Josh Dinka. Smiley face gang on the back of the singlet. I can respect it. Clean. Clean as a whistle for Josh Dinka. 3 white lights.
So another thing to note is that the maximum width grip is that your pointer finger has to cover the rings at the end of the bar. Oh, let's see if he can lock it out. Is there downward motion? Did his feet come up?
Dr. Ock pressed it out. Up and downward motion.
Up and down motion. Sometimes it just feels good to at least press it out, that at least you can press it, even if it's not too comp standard.
You still lock the weight out.
Yeah.
That's a gym PR. I'm putting it in for our numbers for next week. Here's Miles Hartway, 150 kilos, 330 pounds.
Here he is.
Well into our third attempts on both platforms. Here's Miles Hartway with a smooth grind all the way up. I noticed the Berserk tattoo on the forearm. 3 white lights.
Let's see, Zach Newman. I saw there was a bit of downward motion. I wasn't sure if he was going to still try to press it out.
Getting that transition from, bench press is not just you use only your chest. It's not just you even use only your legs. It's a transitional movement, right? So once you go from the chest to about midway, that's when the triceps start to take over.
Yeah.
And more often than not, myself included, folks have weak triceps. My triceps are puny. And so that lockout, once you get off the chest, it may come off fast off the chest. But once you hit that wall, it's hard to push past.
Yeah, I'm very weak off the chest. I feel like I hear like the window shutdown sound when it comes off my chest. It's like the dun. I don't think that's copyrighted.
Ding, 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 ding.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Here's Gabe Conti, 155.
Oh, a little slow off the chest, but very smooth.
The lift is good.
And here's Hung Mai for his last bench attempt at 167.5 kilos, 369 for bench number 3. And we are done with our action for bench press on platform 2. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Well, actually, we might wait until platform 1 finishes, and then we will go to a 10-minute break. So don't go anywhere. We'll see y'all in just a little.
The deadlift is a simple and pure feat of strength. Once the bar is loaded, lifters have 60 seconds to begin.
This is the world's greatest powerlifting event. This is the world's greatest powerlifting event. This is the world's greatest powerlifting event.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. What's going on, everybody? We are here for deadlifts. The party has started. The weight has hit the floor. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last lift of the day for a lot of our lifters. This is where the party happens. Now, we are well into our first flight already. Andrew Chiappa has got 197.5 kilos loaded up. That's 435 pounds. Sam Hahn over on platform 2, 182.5 pounds. 182.5 kilos, excuse me, 402 pounds. All right, now we've got a lot of lifters today, so you're going to see a lot of different stances for our deadlifts, but the two main ones you're going to see are sumo and conventional. So if you're tuning in on platform 2, Sam Hahn utilizing a sumo stance, so the feet are outside of the hands. Utilizes a lot more of the legs and the hamstrings with a little bit of shorter range of motion. The trade-off is a little bit harder to come off the floor. And then you've got conventional deads where the feet are inside the hands, a little bit easier off the floor, longer way to go, but a tougher time at lockout. And if you're watching our deadlifts today, one of the primary things that we're going to be looking for is soft knees and soft lockout, ladies and gentlemen. So if that bar has any up and downward motion, if that bar looks like it is ramping on the knees, and by that mean if the bar is assisted by the quads, if you're shooting your knees under the bar to assist the bar on the way up.
We need some chalk. We need some chalk.
Another thing we're looking for with the deadlifts here, we want to be sure that we only have one command for the deadlifts, and that is down. You will only have the down command. So every lift, like we said, has a timer. As long as that lifter gets the down command before that time runs out, he will be all set to go. So here's Ryan Santos, 202.5, sumo stance, very easy. 446 gets 3 white lights. Bar is being loaded on platform 2 for Pierre Yu. Or sorry, that was a timeout for Pierre Yu, excuse me. Lev Heyman is going to come up next with 185 kilos. That's 407 pounds. Folks, this is the party. This is where we want to tune in. So if you are on the chat, let us know you're here. Let us know who you're watching for, where you're watching from. We want to give you a shout out on the stream. If y'all have any questions or any theory or any tips from myself or my co-host who is currently in the bathroom, do let us know and we will be more than happy to assist you. We love any type of questions like that. We love interacting with the audience in any way, shape, or form. Joseph Skoronski, 215 kilos on platform 1. Lev Heyman, 2-to-1 good lift on platform 2. Now, we're going to see a lot of these deadlifts go super, super fast. It is a little bit easier to load for the deadlift. All you got to do is pick the bar up and load the plates. You don't got to adjust rack heights or anything like that. So we are able to go a little bit faster in between each of our lifters. Bar is loaded for Aaron Carlo on platform 1, 225 kilos, 496 pounds. Greg Morrison on platform 2, sumo stance of war. 205 kilos gets 3 white lights. Got a shout out from Erica on platform 1 for Alexander. Now, I like to say that sumo is the stance of war, conventional is the stance of peace. I say that because there is a lot of controversy with sumo, whether it's an easier lift than conventional. I say both have their merits, both have their difficulties. Alex Cuevas on platform 2. Slow and smooth opener there. I mean, it looks really clean regardless. Lots of powder coming off the thighs there. Folks, if you're watching, there is a bunch of white stuff on the thighs there. So if you're looking at that, that is powder. That is different than what is on their hands, which is chalk. So I like to say that powder makes it slick. Chalk makes it stick. You don't want to get chalk on your thighs or powder on your hands, because that'll make it a lot harder for that bar to come up the thighs, and it'll be a lot harder for you to grip onto that bar. Jonathan Lara on platform 1, 512 pounds. And Daniel Akulov, 485 pounds. Bars loaded for both lifters. All right, here comes Jonathan Lauer over on platform 1. Daniel Akulov taking his sweet time, using all the time he needs. Now, if you're watching over on platform 2, Daniel Akulov did adjust his belt right before he grabbed the bar. That is allowed. You are allowed to adjust your belt. It is the only thing you're allowed to adjust, however. You aren't allowed to adjust your wrist straps, knee sleeves, socks, etc. Your belt is the only thing that can come on and be adjusted once you come out that curtain. Good lift for Jonathan Lara. Coming up next is Vitaly Sender, 240 kilos. And Eamon Shea over on platform 2, 220 kilos. Rocking the A7 blue and navy blue and gold colorway. Shout out our presenting sponsor, A7, Demand Greatness. Here's Vitaly Sender, 240 kilos. That's 529 pounds for the Sincere Training Systems product. The powder cloud comes off the thighs as he locks it out. That's going to be a good lift. Anthony Velez. Now, Anthony Velez is kind of doing a hybrid stance. We call a hybrid stance, otherwise known as a frog stance, where the feet are a little bit narrower, but the hands are still inside of the thighs, so it is still technically a sumo lift. It's just a lot more of a close stance sumo. All right, here's Antonio Marrero, 270 kilos, 595. And Jaden Rupin on platform 2, 529 pounds. And an easy opener for Jaden Rupon on platform 2, 240 kilos, 529 pounds, 3 white lights. As we said, Jaden is competing as a guest lifter, so he could have possibly weighed in, misweighed in, or he could be competing out of another state, but he will not be eligible for any awards or anything like that, so he is really just competing for his own numbers. Antonio Marrero on platform 1, 270 kilos, 595 pounds. Moving on to our second attempts on platform 2, Dan Milrood's going to come up and go up to 115 kilos, 253 pounds. Someone give Antonio Marrero a little bit more work. That's going to be an easy show. 3 white lights come behind Lucas Cognetti with 275 kilos, 606 pounds. And Dan Milrod with an easy second attempt there, 115 kilos, 253 pounds. Our first 600-pound deadlift of the day for Lucas Cognetti. This is going to be his opening attempt at 606 pounds. And now Sam Hahn, bars loaded for him on platform 2, 192.5 kilos, 424 pounds. Lucas on platform 1, choosing to go conventional. Sam choosing to go sumo on platform 2. Folks, I'll be hard-pressed to find a 600-pound deadlift move just as fast as that one. That's going to be a good lift for Lucas Cognetti. Up next is Lucas Baruti. Big fan favorite over on platform 1. Three white lights. Coming up next on platform 2, Lev Heyman, 424.39 big ones. This kid's a Teen 2 lifter, so he's between the ages of 16 and 17. Lucas Baruti going up to, what is this? This is 7.5 kilos from first to second. All right, Lev Heyman with the sumo stance. A little bit slower of a time on that second attempt than the first, but that is expected. The weight is heavier. Here's Lucas Baruti now with 172.5, 380 pounds. Looks like 180 pounds for Lucas Baruti. Let's see some weight on the bar, coach. Now, here's Pierre Yu. Now, it looks like Pierre Yu, okay, so he missed his opening attempt. I can't remember what for, but here he is going up 12.5 kilos to 195 kilograms. All right, Pierre Yu gets that belt locked in. Like we said, the belt is the only thing you can adjust once you get on the platform. And bars loaded for Ryan Santos on platform 1. Let's see what the judges say on that one. A little bit of a bobble at the top, but it was strong nonetheless. A good lift. Ryan Santos with the Don Quixote Don Flamingo. Oh, no, wait, no. I thought that was a one-piece belt. Excuse me, I guess I was wrong. Here's Andrew Chiappa, 212.5 kilos. And then Alexander Perez on platform 2, excuse me. 215 kilos. Andrew Chiappa with a very narrow conventional stance. A very peaceful lad, it seems. So like I was saying earlier, with conventional stance, you're going to find a lot harder of a time locking out than you will off the floor. A little bit different in converse for sumo. I'm going to have a little bit easier, harder time off the floor, but an easier time at lockout. All right, Greg Morrison, bar is loaded on platform 2, 230 kilos. Now, if you're looking at Mr. Greg Morrison, he's letting the guns show. You are allowed to take your shirt off for deadlifts. They did, I believe it was a rule they had, and then they took away, and then they added it back again. I'm not sure how that works, but you are allowed to have your shirt off. That is lifter preference. Aaron Carlo also taking 230 kilos. That's 507, representing Peak Strength Barbell. And then Eamon Shea representing Sincere Training Systems. Here's Eamon Shea. Platform 2, 230 kilos, 507 pounds. The Masters 2 lifter. Very clean all the way through. He's so to that, and he's doing this beltless, folks. Eamon Shea is doing deadlifts without a belt. He might be the only one in this entire flight that is doing his deadlifts beltless. Classy, bougie, Joseph Skoronsky. Platform 1, 230 kilos, 507 pounds. Here's Dan Akilov. Pardon if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Here's 232, 512 pounds. The puff of powder as he locks out the knees. Smiley face gang on the back, 3 white lights. A clean lift for Dan Akilov. Joseph Skoronsky. That is such a clean sumo. You want to talk about an aesthetic lifter. Look no further than Joseph Skoronsky. I mean, he's had textbook lifts all across the board. Squat, bench, deadlift. That sumo was, call me a broken record. It sounds the exact same. 3 wide lights. Anthony Velez on platform 2. A little bit of the froggy stance. Oh, we did lose grip. Oh, we lost grip towards lockout there, which is very common. We'll have to chalk up extra strong. He looked like he had it on strength all the while. Here's Jackson Moore on platform 1, 237.5 kilos. Blink and you miss it for Jackson Moore's second attempt. 523 gets 3 white lights. And here's Jaden Rupon, 260 kilos, going up about 44 pounds. And it looked like he lost it on grip as well. He's going to have to chalk it up extra hard. Deadlift is almost like you know how the lift is going to go by how it feels in your hands, right? And same thing with squat, you know how it feels when it's on your back. And once you get that bar in your hands and you take it off the ground, if it's not going the way you want it, it's probably not going to go at all. Here's Jonathan Lara, 247.5 kilos, 545 pounds. And we are now to the top of the order here for Dan Milrood for deadlifts. Third attempts. So this will be Dan's last lift of the entire competition. He's put on a phenomenal show thus far. An easy last attempt for Dan Milrood. 120 kilos, 264, and he finishes 3 for 3 on deads. Wonderful across the board. Here's Vitaly Sender, product of Sincere Training Systems, Sean Collins. Clean second attempt there from Vitaly Sender. Big shout out to our spotters and loaders that are helping this meet move and move and move. It is really up to them that we are getting to move this fast across all of our lifts. They're doing a great job thus far from RIT Powerlifting Team. And here's Sam Hahn on platform 2. 197.5, 435 pounds for his last attempt of the day before Sam gets to go home and eat. And he had tons left in the tank, which is something you are not mad at seeing for any of our lifters in their third attempts. 3 white lights. Now, here is Lev Heyman on platform 2, 200 kilos, 440 pounds. Lev Heyman had a little bit of a struggle on squats, came back phenomenally for bench. Now, will he be able to finish clean through deadlifts? This is a raw Team 2 lifter between the ages of 16 and 17. Sumo hook grip. Dare I say there's nothing prettier than that, folks. Can he find his way to lockout? Yes, he can. Lev Heyman. 2-1, unfortunately. That's going to be no lift for up and downward motion from our 2 side judges. Lucas Cognetti, 628 pounds for a second attempt. And that's 3 white lights. We are now on to our second flight. Third attempts of our first flight, for platform 1. Lucas Baruti, chat favorite's going to be taking 185 kilos. 407 big ones. I imagine this is a milestone deadlift for Lucas Baruti. At 15 years old, being able to pull 405 plus is no small feat. Pierre Yu with a strong lockout. 3 white lights, or 2 white lights, excuse me. Here's Lucas Baruti. 185 kilos, 407 pounds, 3 white lights for Lucas Baruti. A phenomenal day. Dare I say 8 for 9, 9 for 9. Someone check me on the LiftingCast. 8 for 9. Yes, he only missed his last bench, so 8 for 9. 472.5 kilo total. Andrew Chiappa on platform 1. Alexander Cuevas Perez on platform 2. We've got some heavy 400-pound deadlifts here. We've got 479 for Andrew Chiappa, not able to get it past the knees there. Excellent effort from him. And Alex Cuevas with the wide sumo going as far as the plates. Slow on the way up, like we said, but that lockout was a lot easier. Can he lock the hips through? Come on, judges, what are you going to say? 2-1, that is a good lift. Alex is satisfied. We are satisfied. The judges are satisfied. That's going to be a good lift. Here comes Ryan Santos on platform 1, 227.5 kilos. This is going to put him into second place for the men's Team 2, 82.5 kilo class. Good. How are you doing? Here's Eamon Shea, Sincere Training Systems. 237.5 kilos. Coach Sean Collins lying in wait. Sumo slow off the floor, but he's able to find his way at lockout. Come on, judges. He's stoked with that. Let's give it to him. 523 pounds, beltless from the Masters 2 lifter, folks. You are not going to see anything better than the 2024 USAPL New York State Championships. Joe Skoronsky not able to find his way off of the floor there, so he will finish out 7 for 9. And here's Anthony Velez, platform 2. Missed his second attempt, but is going to go up 5 kilos, 237. That's 523 pounds. He is able to lock it out all the way through. 2-1, the lift is good. Here's Jackson Moore on platform 1, 245 kilos, 240 pounds. Sumo slow off the floor. A little bit of a rocky start all the way up. That's going to be a no lift for Jackson Moore. Phenomenal attempt. We're going to give him a round of applause. Big shout out. And now here's Gregory Morrison. Now, folks, if you're looking at the bottom of the LiftingCast here, you're going to see a placement column pop up under their projected total deadlifts. Now that we are at deadlifts, and this is the last lift of the day, we're going to see likely some pulls for placing here. And so once you see the number at the bottom here, that will indicate what place they will be moving into with this successful deadlift attempt on the bar. So Aaron Carlo, unfortunately, he's going to stay in 7th place for the men's open 82.5 kilo weight class. 82.5 kilo weight class today for men's, teens, juniors is stacked. I want to say a lot of our lifters, the vast majority of our lifters today are in the 82.5 kilo weight class. Aaron Carlo, not so happy with the bar being stable to the ground. I'd yell at my spotters for gluing it. Still a phenomenal day. He'll finish 8 for 9. And Dan Akiloff on platform 2. 247.5 kilos, 545 pounds. Oh, he got past the knees, but is he able to find the hips through and the knees locked? It's unsure if the knees were completely locked there. Let's see what the judges say. 2-1. That is a good lift. He said he told me to quiet down. He told me to quiet down. He said, stop talking on my name like that, kid. All right, Vitaly Center, 265 kilos. What a pull from Vitaly Sender. A darn near perfect day. After having only missed his last squat, he'll finish out 6 for 6. Very strong on the day. Now here's Jaden Rupon going to retake 260 kilos. If I'm not mistaken, this was for grip. Not able to find his way past the knees as Jaden Rupon. He will still finish out on the board. That's going to be 7 for 9 for him. All right, up next is Jonathan Lara, 265 kilos. This is going to put him and comfortably sit him in first place for the men's. Well, he is a guest lifter, so there is no placing technically, but let's watch as he locks out this 584-pound deadlift. And we go to the judges. 3 white lights. And we are up to our last flight of action on platform 2 for this session. Andrew Rita, 187.5 kilos for his opening attempt. That's 413 pounds. Now, Lucas Cognetti, this is going to be a monster pull for him. This is 650 pounds. And if successful, this lift is going to put him into first place overall for the men's open 82.5 kilo weight class. So this is to pull for the win in an already stacked weight class and division for Lucas Cognetti. 650 pounds, a great even number. Let's see what we've got. Now, here's Joseph Briller on platform 2. Opening us up with 235 kilos, that's 518 pounds. Let's take a look here. Both of our lifters getting set. Lucas in conventional and Joseph in sumo. Lucas Cognetti big off the floor, but can he find lockout past the knees? It's going to be a slow burn. Not able to find it. And so he will stay in third place for the men's 82.5 kilo weight class. Lucas Cognetti, what a show nonetheless. All right, we are carrying on and moving on. Antonio Marrero. This is going to put him from 5th to 4th place for the junior 82.5 kilo weight class and division. And we've got Tristan Biro. Platform 2 chat has been live for Tristan Biro. 240 kilos, 529 pounds. Unfortunately, as a guest lifter, so will not qualify for any placings, etc. But can still put on a great show. Look at that deadlift. A master class in sumo. 3 white lights. Bars getting cleaned up and loaded for Jackson Blair on platform 1, and we are now onto our last flight of lifters on platform 1 for this session. Bars loaded on platform 2 for the Aki Doc. Jayok Sim. And here's Jackson Blair, 212.5 kilos, 468 pounds, also a guest lifter. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for Jackson Blair. Now here's the Aki Doc. Blink and you miss it. 242.5 kilos, 534 pounds, goes down faster than my toast in the toaster on a hungry Sunday morning. I'm getting tired already, folks. George MC's 220 kilos on platform 1. This is 485 pounds, representing relentless strength. Here's Gabe Conti on platform 2. 534. Good lift on platform 2, followed up by Zachary Newman on platform 2, 540 pounds. That's a good lift for George MC's. Going on to 490 kilos, or 490 pounds, excuse me. God, 490 kilos. 490. I can't tell if they're playing Attack on Titan music, but I'm kind of here for it. It is Attack on Titan? Okay, that's what I thought. I'm here for it. Here's Jesse Sitt. 222.5 kilos are loaded up. And Mitchy Mitch, Big Mitch Capitula, or Capitula, opening up with 584 pounds. Jesse Sitt couldn't make that one look any easier. 3 white lights, followed behind by Josh Dinka, product of Mustache Fitness and Barbell. Coach Carly Skarapinski in the corner. All right, Mitchy Mitch Capitula, 265. 584 moves easy, moves like butter on toast. All right, we've got Josh Dinka. 496 pounds. And then we've got Andrew Rada, bars loaded for him on platform 2. We are going to be starting our second attempts on platform 2. 195 kilos, that's 429 pounds. And Joshelle Zidang on platform 1. He's going to be opening us up with 540 pounds. We're all good. And Joseph Briller on platform 2, 250 kilos.
Hello, good morning, Albany and the greater YouTube community.
I am back with my co-host.
Yep, Victoria's back, and she's ready to commentate.
That was a long potty break. I said you're in the bathroom at the very start, and it's been about I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Jan had me do an equipment check.
Hey, you listen, when big man Jan tells you to do something, you do it.
Let's see. Nice and smooth and snappy for Joseph Briller. That Ivory Rose really pulling through for him.
Here's Miles Hartway opening up with 250 kilos, 551. Into our last flight of deadlifts for this session.
We have Tristan, Mustache King.
Oh, Tristan's a chat favorite. Let me get some ones in the chat for Tristan Biro, 250 kilos. This is also going to be 551 pounds. Bars getting loaded for Hung Mai on platform 1.
290 kilos getting loaded onto the bar. Will Tristan lock it out? Looks like he might have it. Let's see what the judges say.
2-1, that's a
2
good
to 1.
lift. The ones in the chat helped everybody. Keep it up. We need this energy in the chat. Got to keep us live.
290 kilograms for Hung. This is over 3 times his body weight.
To open.
To open.
To open with. This is 639 pounds, gang.
Yeah, I know my phone feels like it's 3 times my body weight when I have to call to make a doctor's appointment. I don't know how it can lift this much weight.
It feels 3 times body weight when I drop it on my head at night. That's valid.
Gabe Conti over on platform 2 with 255 just sometimes it just doesn't budge off the floor.
I'm gonna have a word with our spotters for gluing those reds to the floor.
Yeah. Maybe there was like one of those like glue traps under it. Hate when that happens. We have Jackson Blair loading. They're loading it up for him. Oh, we got Ock coming up on platform 2 for his second attempt, 260 keys. Now this is where the deadlift, as opposed to bench, where there are going to be, as opposed to bench where you typically see smaller jumps, the deadlift, you can really see a lot greater jumps in weight.
Absolutely, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's Big Jackson Blair, 230 kilos. 3 white lights over on platform 1.
Nice and snappy for Ock. It's so interesting how you could see different stances. I'm sure you've covered the difference between like sumo and conventional stance. Conventional, you typically can grind it out a bit more, whereas with sumo, it's very rare that you'll see a sumo deadlift that's a good lift with a good lockout that doesn't have any hitching or ramping where you can really grind it out. Typically, a sumo, you're going to see more of a snappiness right off the floor.
Right.
Kudos to people that can grind out a sumo. I recently switched back to somewhat recently switched back to conventional to kind of build my base for that. We got Mitch coming up with 280 keys on the bar. They're loading it up. We have George MC's locking it out on platform 1. 3 white lights for George. That was a fight. So you'll see sometimes the spotters, before every third attempt, you will see them wipe down the bar. That's to get rid of any chalk, any baby powder, any bodily fluids that may have ended up on the bar.
Yeah, because when you're looking at a sumo deadlift, the sumo pullers the conventional pullers are putting powder right where the sumo pullers put their hands.
Yeah.
And you don't want that, so you want to make sure you scrub the bar off each time.
Yeah. Oh, nice and smooth for Mitchell. Way more left in the tank. Okay, bar is loaded for Andrew. So as opposed to bench where you have the 3 commands, deadlifts typically fly because you just have the singular down command. It's not even a command, it's almost like a chop of the hand.
I was saying, too, there's no rack heights to adjust.
Yeah, it's just you, a bar, some plates, and a dream.
Andrew
Oh, can he
Rita for
lock
his
it out?
last deadlift of the day. It's going to be a fight.
It's a fight. Let's see. Not sure.
2-1.
2-1. 2-1. So an interesting thing about the deadlift is the bar can pause and it can touch your thighs because, you know, there's quadzillas out there. Like, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. You just then cannot lean back into it and let your thighs support the bar to pull it back up. It needs to be a torso-led movement.
Right. We've got Joshelle and Joseph, platforms 1 and 2 respectively. 578 on platform 1, 562 on platform 2. This is Joseph's last deadlift of the day. Go Shotty, it's your birthday. Can you find a lockout, Joseph Briller?
Let's see what the judges say.
3
Lift is
white
good.
lights.
3 whites. I believe he went 9 for 9 on the day.
I think so.
That's always I have yet to have that feeling in my nascent career.
I've done
Nascent.
it once. I've done it once.
We have Joshelle on platform 1. Looks like he might be pulling with hook grip, which is... Oh, wow.
I've been there. I have 100% been there. When you're taking that brace at the bottom and you utilize all your effort to get it up, you get lightheaded. You black out a little bit. It happens, folks. He is okay.
Yes.
He is okay. We have spotters, loaders, and tons of health personnel on staff to help out, but he is all good.
Yeah, and luckily there's a decent amount of distance between where the bar is and the platform, so there isn't any more inertia from kinetic potential energy from him going forward. So,
Ooh, kinetic potential energy. See, I was scared to go into the physics terms, but I'm here for it. We can talk about the elastic potential energy of the knee sleeves. We can go crazy.
if you think about the ratio and the torque percentage of the
I was just
lever,
about to go into torque
the
angles.
fulcrum,
Oh my gosh.
the fulcrum.
Oh man, Miles Hartway, look at those levers. 262.5 kilos, 578 pounds. Easy second.
Nice and
there.
snappy for Miles. Oh, we got Tristan. Where's our Tristan stands at?
Hey, we need. Like, let me get a W in the chat for Tristan. W's in the chat for Tristan Biro. 255 kilos, 562 pounds.
Oh, we got dubs pouring in for Tristan. Unfortunately, just wasn't there today for Tristan.
Listen.
It's okay, but it wasn't for lack of support from all his
It was
fans.
not for lack of support. Shout out to the chat for that support. He's going to be stoked to see all those W's.
Yeah. We have Hung Mai. He took a 17.5 kilo jump. By golly.
And this is 677 pounds for Hung Mai. And the Daki Aki himself, Jae-Yok Sim, 270 kilos.
So snappy for Hung. Where's our ox stands at? Support him on his last lift of the day.
Hey, let me get some O's in the chat for Ak. O's in the chat for Ak. Let's see it. 270 kilos on platform 2. 595 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He finds his way.
He found it up, locked it out, I think.
Oh, 2-1. Unfortunately, it's going to be a no lift. So what is a red light on deadlift?
A red light is you failed to lock. I believe it's you failed to lock out with shoulders back. So that judge may have called. Maybe his one shoulder just wasn't completely back. I believe a yellow is. I'm not sure if it's. I'll have to triple check my cards. But I think a yellow might be foot movement or like shifting or something like that. Or he may have like released control of the bar. Because you need to maintain control of the bar. You don't have to, like, you know, lightly set it down. I love when I see that, by the way. Like, you see someone with, like, a heavy deadlift during a competition, they just lightly place it on the ground.
Right.
You don't need to do that, but your hands just need to be on the bar.
Zach Newman with a monster 600-pound deadlift.
Let's see what the judges say.
Got to be a milestone lift for Zach Newman.
Good.
2 white lights.
So an interesting thing about the deadlifts is there can only be a tiny bit of downward motion, but that's only at lockout. in the rules, it specifically says that if the bar settles as your shoulders come back and it goes down, that is permissible as downward motion, not in the course of the lift, though.
Right.
Because some people just have like rounded shoulders. Some people overcorrect. You know, it's like when you take your driver's test that took me 3 tries to pass, and you put your hair in a ponytail so that they see that you're looking both ways. Sometimes you really need to make sure that the judges see that. Same reason why you see people really sink their depth on squat.
No doubt in this sport. Here's Josh Dinka for his last deadlift attempt for the day. 250 kilos representing Mustache Fitness and
551
barbell.
pounds.
Not to be outdone, we've got big Mitch Capitula on platform 2. And Josh with a monster lockout on platform 1. 551 pounds. 3 wide legs.
Go, Mitch. Go. Yeah. Oh,
Big
Mitch
Mitch
locking it
Capitula.
out. Still looking so smooth. That's over triple his body weight, fellas.
And you know what? You gotta love the class there from Mitch Capitula, shaking the hand of all the referees, judges, and spotters. And
Yeah.
folks, that's going to cover our action for our lifting on platform 2. That's gonna be it. But we will be back at 1:30 on the dot for our PM session. We've got 2 more flights. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Yeah. Platform 1, we're doing our